Good morning. Thank you for joining us. This is today's live on Equa Television, and today we are going to be looking a different angle of life. You know, it is important that you are breathing, and you are created for a purpose. You are created to solve a problem. You are created to add value. Today, what we are looking at, what what is your reason for living? Are you creating value wherever you are? Are you a driver? Are you a mechanic? Are you working in the office? Or are you a farmer? What value are you creating in the area which you find yourself? That is what we'll be discussing today. And then the house is full, but one person is not here. But I would say I'm the only one among women here. I hope I'm safe. I have Joyce, Jakada, Prudence, and then Javima. How are you guys doing?
Fine. Good morning.
Looking so beautiful.
You're very much safe, Sabu Suduba.
I am, ba?
Yes.
That's beautiful. Today we'll be talking creating value. But it is very important for our viewer to know that you can join our conversation, through WhatsApp and then Facebook and YouTube, so that we'll talk this issue together. We'll hear your own angle. Creating value, how important it is.
As always, Fridays we talk about social media, and we've been emphasizing over the weeks, like, who are the people you have, who are the friends you keep on your social media, who are the people you are following on social media, and then what are you learning from them? How are they impacting you? How are they improving your lifestyle and what you do? I talked about how that it is important to be deliberate about your friends list. It's not about having 5,000 friends, 10,000 friends, but amongst those friends you have, can you say that, I've been able to learn these in line with what I believe, in line with my career, in line with my skill, in line with my business? From this person that has been my friend on my social media handle, I've been able to learn this. Or you've just been following and accepting friend requests without learning anything. So beyond the people that we follow, beyond the people that we keep, now we're looking at our own selves. What value are you giving out there? What value are you also adding to the people that are also following you? Because you owe them that as well. We're talking about their data too. For them to access your timeline, to access your own content, they must have data. So what value, even your friend on social media, whether Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever it is, what value should I learn from you? I think that's a very critical angle to look at. Most times we don't look at our own selves. We are always looking at other people. What are you giving me? What will I learn from you? What will I get? We're always talking about getting. The Bible says it's more blessed to to give, yes, than to receive. So now we're talking about creating value. What are you giving? What are you giving? Is it something that has worth, or you're giving something that is actually adding to the negativity that is already existing on the social media? Like I said one time, there are a lot of negativity on the social media. You must be deliberate about adding up to the little positivity that is actually existing. We can't totally say that, social media is a bad place to be. There's advancement in technology, and we can't deny the fact that this advancement, even to the development of social media and all of those handles, have helped in terms of bringing the world together, has helped in terms of helping us get information in real time. You don't have to go to a physical library to sit and study. You can go online, search for books and still study. So what are you also giving? Are you folding your arms and saying, Facebook now is for Yendunia, it's for the world? You should not be, because I've seen people that will say they are not on social media, or they have actually closed down their social media because, like, they don't want to be there, it's evil and all of that. So what are you doing? You that have the social media handle, or you that is there saying no, you're not there, what are you thinking of doing to change the narrative? Or you that are already there, what are you doing to change the narrative? What are you giving out there? If I say I'm a Christian, does my social media handle reflect who I am, what I believe in? am I adding to the positivity? Am I giving people value? Even if it's business that I'm doing, my business page, what value are you giving? I'm seeing that in these days, a lot of people are going into digital marketing. People are into business, but then the concern is for many, let me just get money out of this. In fact, that scammers are even taking advantage of it. They will just go and bring pictures head on a normal day, you know that it's like 100K and above, and person will tell you 15,000. So a lot of people are also doing business on the social media and do, but what value are you giving for the product that you're selling or putting out there?
I think that if you're an ardent follower of today's life, you know that there are two things that we constantly talk about on this set. First of all, is value and worth. What is your worth? So if you know your worth, you would want to give out your worth to the world. So it is important, as much as it is important that you are considering value, it is also very important that you look at your worth. Okay, if what I'm giving out is equal to my worth, then this is how much I should give out. But if you're just relaxed and you're like, okay, no, let me just give anything, then that's how much you're worth. You need to sell how much you are worth to the world so that they can see. We were talking about, you're talking about how the negativity is too much in the social media. Agreed, it is. And you're also talking about how difficult it is to do any form of evangelism as a Christian. Yes, it is. But then again, it is actually easy. You're just one click away. You can just write up whatever you want to. People do listen. Interestingly, you might think that nobody actually looks at these kind of things, but then they do. And it seeps in gradually. If you continuously give the person that, this is what I'm worth, and this person continuously sees it, and later on, that person, it dawns on that person, okay, no, this is worth accepting. This is worthy of noting. This is worthy of me putting my energy towards it as well. And gradually, you begin to influence and get yourself into, so that people can see that this is the value that I'm giving out to you. But you see, the problem is that we are not deep thinkers. We don't think deep. We are, a majority of us on the social media, are shallow thinkers. You just think shallow. Okay, oh no, this makes me laugh. Ha 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 ha. Pass a go. And this makes me reflect, but you reflect for maybe 2 minutes. That's all. That's about it. You leave the reflection there. But if you're consistent about what you're giving out, it gets to people's hearing. The world gave us what they could give us because they were consistent. It's a deliberate effort. When nudity became a norm, it didn't just start overnight. It was something that was consistent. People gradually, okay, no, let's just show them this. Let's show them this. Let's add it up. Let's make it to this point. No, that's not enough. Let's add again ahead. So now it becomes the usual thing, and everybody sees it like, oh, that's a normal thing. There's no problem in doing that. But you who has the right values, who has the right norms, you're not deliberate about sharing it with the world. But if you want to add value or create value, you have to you create value from what you have, or rather you create, anything you're creating is from what you already have. If you observe it well, God already had life before he created life. So you have the body as a human being before you are able to create another human being. You have the intellect before you are able to create any form of intellectual stuff. So it's something that you already have that you're giving out to the world. The value that you are creating is something that should be inbuilt, something that you already have. Okay, so I'm intellectual. I know that I have values, and I think that my values are important. So the world should see it too. They should also, then you make it tantalizing, you make it interesting, you make it so nice that they cannot resist it. Then you go ahead and give them. But then again, when you're trying to make it so nice that they don't resist it, please don't compromise on your values when you're trying to do that. That's one thing that is important. But then a lot of us, you would find, we were talking about it, I think the last Friday, we were talking about how a lot of us do this. It's like you have, this is what you want to give out to the world, but then again you want to infuse it with what the world has given you so that you give it back to them. And when you're doing that, sometimes it dilutes the message. Yes, but then again, it dilutes the message you're trying to give out a lot of times. So why can't you think, be creative, think yourself, okay, no, this, if I do it this way, would it be as interesting to the person out there, or should I just do it this other way? Maybe it will be more interesting. We are not given a stagnant brain, and interestingly, they said you use not more than 2%, 3% of your brain in your lifetime. If you really are investing it, and joking is somebody who was telling us that some of us don't even use 0.1% of our brains. So if you're able to use that percentage of your brain, then use it so that you would give the world what it needs, not what it wants. That's what's important, but we don't always think. As I said earlier, we are not deep thinkers, and that's the major issue. That's why creating any form of value is hard. Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel that creating value is a mindset. It starts from your mind, and then is a decision. But a lot of us get carried away by distractions. Some distractions are real. Other distractions, we look for them by ourselves. If you have a mindset of creating value, even if you don't have that value, the self-worth that she talked about, you would work on yourself and see that you attain a level where you would be able to present something worthy. If you don't have it, you would hide yourself, work on yourself, and then you present something. Because if we are talking about just someone that has the worth, has the value, then a lot of people will not be able to create value. So even if you don't have it, you work at it and see that you're able to bring value, you're able to present value to people. That is why on the social media that you mentioned, you see people that are not even creating value. They are not adding value. They are not receiving value in any form. Some don't even want to accept value. Even if it's offered to them on a platter of gold, they don't even want to receive it because they don't have that mindset. They don't have that understanding. So creating value for me starts from your mindset, from your understanding, and then from your acceptance. You have to accept it. If I give you a key and the car is parked outside, you would have to accept the key before you have access to the car. So it has to do with acceptance as well. Then the kind of people that are around you also contribute to you adding value, to you receiving value. They say bad company corrupts good manners. So if you don't have good kind of people that have the same like minds as you will not be able to create value, because trust me, even if you want to create value, they would be the ones to stop you. They will be bringing you down. If you can't beat them, join them. If they are 10 and you are 1, they will beat you. So the kind of people that are around you also contribute to you creating value or nothing at all.
Jemima, there's a saying that people are willing to pay the price if there is actually value for, like, the time we're in right now. People are willing to pay the price just when they know that at the end of the day there's going to be value for this. And that's why people say, oh, what's the value of that? What's the value of this? I bought something from a lady that I thought to patronize her, but like after receiving the what I bought from the lady, I was like, what? Like, no, you shouldn't expect me to go back again because I didn't get value for what I actually paid for. And in reality, that is what people are expecting. If I want to come to you, if I want to go to your follow you, I always see people say, follow me, please follow me. Now they go to people's comments, random comment posts and comment and say, I'm a comedian, follow me, and you don't have to go and be announcing yourself. Put out that value that you want people to go for. If it is jokes, put out the jokes. When people see your joke and they laugh, they will follow you. If you sell something, Like, you don't have to keep shouting at people's ears, come and buy, you must buy, you must buy. Let it be valuable. Let it be something that when they buy it, they see that yes, this is worth it. Haven't you seen people that will say, they will tell them that, oh, this shoe is 5,000, they say, God forbid, let me buy something that I can go and get it for 2,000. And then another person, you tell him that this shoe is 5,000, he will like, that's not a good shoe. They are looking out for what? For value. That if I'm able to spend money on something, then it should give me, there should be worth. And like Prudence and Jemima said, talking about self, you can't ask for what you are not.
Yes.
It starts from yourself. It was a GM that spoke about principle. In relationship, for example, as a lady, what are your principles? What are your values? It shapes how and who you interact with, who you accept into your life. People can just see you and just rate you and just know your value and say, oh no, this person, let's just take her, buy her noodles, just get her Coke. You're done. That's your worth. That's the value as far as that guy is concerned. Another guy will see this young lady and say, wow, I have to first check my own self. I have to compose myself. What I'm going to say to this lady. Why is he thinking? Why will he have to go back home and arrange his words? Why would he have to go back and even be rehearsing at the mirror how he's going to approach this girl? He saw value. He saw value. See, we are living in a world that is full of competition. Whether you think you're a Christian, or you're saying, oh, I'm a Christian, so I need to just be one side. I shouldn't be involved in. See, now we're in competition. So what you need to do, as the world are portraying, advertising, all the things that are there to distract you, what you believe in too, you have to keep pushing it. I cannot say that I'm a Christian and then I can't be out there. I can't spread the gospel. Like, I'm ashamed of spreading the gospel. I'm ashamed of saying that I'm a Christian. Then I don't place a value in my belief. Look at the people of the world. See what they believe in with all their might. Like Prudence was saying, they take their time to put it to your face. Not just putting it to your face. They have sleepless nights just to make you believe in what they believe. They write, they come up with videos, with pictures that will confuse you, that will convince you to believe in what they believe. And then you are saying that no, your own belief should be above theirs, and you're folding your arms. You have the social media platform. They are taking advantage of the technology as well and reaching out to more people. And you are saying, no, our people no longer come to physical gathering. They are always online. Why not take advantage of the social media as well and push what you believe in? Give them the value of what you think you believe in. And when you do that, I think the world will come for you.
Sure. You talked about competition, earlier. The world is in competition. There's no doubt about it. The competition started ever since when God put his plan together for man. And then devil, in his own wisdom, think it is time for him to distort it. And the competition is between who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. You understand? Jesus is recruiting people and telling people, this is my original plan. This is how I planned this life for you. But at a point you fall. I now re-strategize. Let me put it that way. And then create another way that I will come to you, that freely you will receive, and then let's go back to status quo so that you will enjoy that plan that I have for you. And the devil is like, no, a man cannot be placed above me. You understand? Because he's seen the importance that God is placing on man, and he feels no. So all the devil is doing in terms of competition, like you said, they are having sleepless nights, coming with all kind of innovations, all manners of strategies and the rest, so that they will convince you, like you rightly said. They will put something there that looks like it's real, that looks appealing. Just like when at the Garden of Eden, the way he started, when she was looking at the fruit, he asked her, that means it shows that there is that attention. The fruits look appealing, but they say we should not eat. And he said, did he say you should not eat? See the lie, how it started. And she said, yes, if we eat, we will die. He said, not really. But this is what will happen. You understand? So already there's this distraction. And you mentioned issue of distraction. Some, we invite them. Some, we create them. Some are spiritual that we don't even know. Consciously and unconsciously, we fall into this trap.
You say that your village people, they follow you.
I was actually going
Some are not from your village.
Yes,
Your neighbors.
They are neighbors. You understand? So you see, we have to be deliberate. We have to be conscious that why am I called in the first place? Christianity is about adding value.
Very true.
Christianity is about adding value. So you are a Christian and you are not adding value. My brother, my sister, I should ask myself, I should sit down and ask, did I truly receive this Christ as my personal Lord and Savior? And agreeing with the terms and conditions embedded in the Holy Book as a manual on how to live a Christian life.
You reminded me of a conversation with someone. I said, I doubt your Christianity. I said, who made you judge over? That is because if you are truly, brother, if you are watching and if you are listening,
Yes.
if you are really a Christian, it should be seen in the value you give out.
Give out.
What? It shouldn't be questionable.
Exactly. It's not
Yes.
something.
But-
It's not something that somebody.
There should
will
be
say and
consistency
wondering.
in the value you are giving.
Very true.
Consistency.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Today
somebody
you are
should
not
know.
adding value. Tomorrow you are joking. Next tomorrow you are sharing. No, there should be.
They'll tell you that I want a little of. It's just
Everything.
Okay.
I was going to say that I think that the major problem now is that we are relaxed. It's like we feel like people have already done the message. Everybody has heard about the message. So there's no need. That's how a lot of us think. Although we are not saying it out loud that this is how we think. But then we feel
Familiarity.
Yes.
so we
yes.
feel like every other person has heard it. What's the point of me going out to go and still say it?
And we're
And-
scared of what people will say. Hey, if I
Yes.
post this scripture,
Yes.
like someone told me
Yes.
that, please, so people should reduce the way you are posting scriptures, because as you are posting like this, it will be making some of us look bad. So don't post, because as you are posting it, us that we are not posting it, it will now make us look bad.
No, it's
How?
an individual
Is the
race.
devil asking you to post all those nude pictures and videos that you are seeing everywhere? You think they need anybody's approval? They are in competition
And-
with what you believe.
And one funny part is that you will see believers, quoting all these logical quotes that are not factual. They are logical. You see them quoting them and posting them on their status, promoting them, while you have the original manual, which is the Bible, that you can quote, that she's saying you should reduce it. Then auntie, go and sit down and question your belief.
Yeah, I was going to
Yes,
say.
because it's something that you are supposed to be proud. Imagine Jesus was ashamed of sharing the gospel. Imagine he was ashamed. He was afraid of entering those places he entered to preach. To a point that only him threatened the Pharisees. Only him. You look at their group, that they have to sit down in their council and agree on what to do to him, not knowing that they are paving way for our own salvation ignorantly. You understand? So just imagine, that's where we will pick the key. Because like I said, if you say you are a Christian, you are a believer, it's holistic. This value, Jesus Christ came to restore that value that was distorted. That's the idea. He came to restore the value that was distorted. So now if you know that it was distorted and you agree, then you embrace it. And then from there, what you are asked to do is to go and preach the gospel to Samaria and the rest, to the part of the world. It starts with your cycle where you are. And then your social media is your phone, is your data, right? Data. It starts from there, right? It starts from there. Then from there, your close friends. From there, someone will share. That means you are going to the other part, and to the rest of the world. Before you know it, somebody in China, somebody in Asia, US. So people are beginning to connect. People are beginning to share. You
Example,
see
Solomon,
the spread.
If you look at the life of Jesus
Mm.
while on earth, he was busy doing good. He was all about the work of his Father, and it was all, to sum it up, it's just about impact, giving
Restoration.
value for what you believe in, trying to make the people see the value in serving Christ, in serving God and all. So you that now say, oh, I'm now a Christian. Recall, we always talk about the fact that believers of old were called Christians because of how they were Christ-like in their attitude, in their behaviors, how they related to people. Someone can easily say, oh, this person must be a Christian. Or this person must be a believer and follower of Jesus Christ, because it's seen in his attitude, it's seen in his character, how he behaves, how he relates to people. Today you have people that will tell you, oh, I'm a Christian, but when it comes to business, no, remove Jesus aside.
Smartness.
You get something that you're supposed to sell for 1,000 naira, send for 10,000, and you call it is business. And then the person gets home only to discover that that thing does not worth the money he paid for. You're not creating value. You're not giving value.
And quickly, you continue from your point. And you see, in this plateau, we will relate to something that we know, Irish potato. These people that are selling Irish potato, whether in rubber paint or in bag, I think if you are saying you are a Christian, you should rethink. Because what they do, they will pick the small ones and drop them underneath, and then select the big ones and package them up. By the time they give you the price and you agree, you pay, they will never turn that thing while you are seeing. There's a way they cover you if they want to turn it to the original back that they want to give you. I think it's wrong.
Sambo Solomon, but do you know there are still people that do same business, and they will tell you these are selected ones. That's, you will see it there. These are selected ones, and these ones are the ones that are mixed, and these ones are smaller ones. They buy the bag and they select them like that, in that grade, or they group it like that.
Yeah.
So you come, which do you want? If you want the
They
selected
tell
ones
you
that
the
are
different
big,
prices, so
you're
you
buying it for
decide.
10,000. If you're buying the one that is mixed, you're buying it for 5,000. If you're buying the smaller ones, you're buying for 2,000. Like, you're telling them that pay and get the value for
Value.
your
Yeah.
your payment.
So when you're paying, you know what you're getting.
True.
Yeah, and that's I think that's the attitude we need to have for everything. Like, regardless whatever we find ourselves, that's the attitude you're supposed to have. I love the fact that you made the example of Jesus Christ and how he continuously decided that it's value that is my word. Like, it's just value I need to give out. And interestingly, his disciples followed in the same way. So we are embarrassed about being Christians. Truth. Legit. We are embarrassed about being Christians, especially on the social media. It's like, okay, if you're a Christian on social media, hide your face. Let them not see you, so that you would have followers. And a lot of people are doing that. If you find someone who is a celebrity and is outspoken about his faith in Jesus Christ, people are looking at the person like, you're not going nowhere. Just in a twinkle of an eye, people are going to just, the world is just going to choke you out. And but then again, you still find that some of them are still out there, regardless of the attacks that are coming their way. They're still, if they get any movie, they give in their best. If they get anything to do, they'll do and give in their best. And that's the attitude we are all supposed to have. It's not the attitude of, okay, so when we are outside, we work outside. And then when we are inside, we are like, we are Christians too. And you have the attitude of, okay, when you come to church, I'm like, oh no, I'm a Christian too as well. Don't you know that? Do you have to tell people that you are? No, actually. So when we're talking about creating value or giving out value, it's something that you have to build from inside. And that's because I'm concurring to what she said earlier on. And when I spoke about how you need to work on, to give out your worth, you can't, building on what she said, you can't just give out your worth if you have not built it. You need to build your worth. You need to be legit. Yes, build capacity. And And if you have noticed that Paul in the Bible had one of that Paul, he had one of the largest. He wrote the books. He did every other thing. Why do you think it was so? Because Paul was intellectual. Yeah, I'm not belittling the work that the others did. No, Peter did a lot of work. He even had the scripture himself. I mean, a passage that he wrote, a book that, 2 books rather, First and Second Peter. But if you notice from the writings, people said that those who saw the original manuscript said that the writing looked childish. Why? Because he started out as a fisherman, but he was deliberate that this, I'm going to do this. So he learned it later on in the book, and then he had that passage. And the book of Peter is one book that a lot of people actually, it speaks to people a lot. But you find that Paul's capacity was more. But we have this attitude that the moment you have grown to a certain level, it's like, okay, I've gotten this degree, I've gotten this PhD, okay, I can relax. And when he talks about the things of God, promoting them on the social media, you're like, what will my colleagues think? If I do it like this, my colleagues will begin to think that I'm just trying to push my faith on them. Then I should not do something like that. We have that kind of behaviors a lot of times, and you forget that they were people who brought that faith to you. And if they had relaxed, if Paul had sat down and said, no, the people I was cruising with before Jesus came to my aid, how would they look at me? How would they think of me? He did not think like that.
Prudence,
And that's how we are supposed to think.
Recently, I had the opportunity to visit the SIM cemetery. And when I went there, I was just like walking inside. Like these people believed in God. They saw value and they wanted the world to see it. They left their comfort zone so that the word can reach the world, so that people can be saved. And they didn't know how their end was going to be. They know the risks that is involved in all of that, but they damn it because they saw that there is light and these people need to see this light. We live in a time where, see, everyone is looking out for value. From the social media down to your physical relationship with people. If people see that there's no value in you, they will leave you. Like, everybody wants value for his time. Look at the economic situation the world is faced with, all the situations and everything people are dealing with. You think somebody wants to come and spend 1, 2, 3 hours, and then nothing is coming out from that time. When the person does that today, tomorrow he will leave you. Everybody's looking out for value. Even the people of the world, even the devil is looking, there's something he's looking out for. He saw something in you and that's why he wants to take it away. So we must be deliberate about creating value. And like we all agreed, it starts with you. Do you even understand your worth? That you are even alive today, it means God has not given up on you. Have you even thought of the price he paid for you to be alive? Think about it, that the moment you lie, you're just dying. But he came, he saved you, he paid the price, he took it all on the cross of Calvary. And that is why we can boast and say, I'm no longer a slave to sin. I'm now a child of God. Do you know what it means to be a child of God? See, we must understand who we are. Understand who you are. What is your purpose? It will guide you in whatever you are pursuing. You will go for nothing outside value if you understand who you are, the purpose of your creation, the God you are serving. Like we're talking about the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. So anybody that is boasting that is the Lord, this one is the Lord of Lords. He's the King of Kings. Like any other person that thinks he's a master, he has not seen the master yet.
You see, you talked about purpose. You have to understand your source.
True.
And
Where
you
are you
can't
drawing from?
Yes.
Where are you drawing
see,
from?
a bitter sauce cannot give sweet
Results.
result. It can't. And all of us, if we say Christ, is the ultimate when you talk about value. Because you as a person, you are a value added to the world. That's the purpose of your creation. Because you are created for you to show that light, the image of God. He said we are created as image of God. If God is value and you are his image, then God is your source. Then what you are expected to give is nothing else but value.
It's just unfortunate that a lot of people have cut out from that source. And that is why today an old man was talking, and then he was a young person that was acting the old man. He said, oh, is this Christianity that our founding fathers gave their lives for? Like the way we are joking with this Jesus, like when he sees, he was talking about from the dressing, from the way we talk, from how our lifestyle is not different from the world. He was lamenting, and he said, I know that he was trying to encourage parents to do more in terms of training and teaching the children the word. But he still said, I know that some of you out there have tried.
Sure.
You have tried, you're still trying your best. But some children, you be like a demon vomit them. That when you see how some children behave, it's like it's demons that birth them. But we cannot give up. We cannot give up, because you see some parents will say, "Oh, that's the path you've chosen." Like they are tired. They are tired. We cannot give up. Their assignments, you have been entrusted with them. You can't. The one who gave you the child, you have to always run back to him. Look at the gift you gave to me. You said it's not supposed to add sorrows to me. It's supposed to be a blessing. But look at, you have to still go back to the source. Like I said, when we understand our value, when we understand our source, I like the fact that you talk about source. You know who you're drawing from. Then it's going to guide you.
Sure.
Everything you do, you are going to be guided. Like who says a thing when he has not said it? That somebody will look at you in the face and tell you, I'm not sure if you are going to pass these exams. I remember when I got admission, I was trying to do registration, and I think I made a mistake on the form that I was filling. And then the person that was overseeing, like the level coordinator, then was like, just to feel from your making mistake, are you sure you're going to be able to pass this exam? Are you sure you'll be able to graduate? Oh, when I was collecting the gifts, I wished she was there to see. So let our mistakes not define us. It shouldn't define you. Don't move away from the value that God has placed on you. That you're on social media today does not mean you should lose out from your value. Exactly. Take your value there. Let your value not just be in the physical realm. And then, just when you are with people, you are sitting with people, or you're in the church and lifting holy hands, that's where your value ends. The moment you move out of the church, your value is no longer with you. You go on social media, you change your name because you don't want people, your pastors, your church members, or your parents to see the life that you're living on social media. Some of us, when we see our pastors as one of the friends you may know, or people, the way you would just move away from
friend requests from your
friend
pastor.
Request. You don't want to associate with it because you don't want them to see that life you are living. In the church, you are at the forefront, you sing, you do, but in the social media, you're afraid to even say, oh God or Jesus, because you don't want people to say Mother Mary. You don't want them to call you Jesus baby and all of that. So anything you're posting is far from your Christianity in quotes.
And she mentioned that you have changed your name. This is what I found interesting. So this songwriter wrote this. He was talking about how you want to do Jesus. So you do Jesus when you're in church. When you leave the church, you want to do the world as well. So you're somewhere in between. You're neither hot nor cold, black nor white. So you're gray. Then he says something like this. He says, there is gray. He agrees there's that in between where you are neither for this or for that. Yes, there is gray, but there's just no peace in that place. You would be disturbed.
He said you will speak them.
You can't.
Yeah, and you will be disturbed. And interestingly, you will be disturbed. First of all, you don't want those on this side of life to see you here, and you don't want those on this side of life to see you here. So
Already
you are
you are
always
frustrated.
And
Thank you.
confused.
Self
I'm confused. Thank you.
she mentioned
Yeah,
that
so it's better you choose one so that you enjoy it to the fullest.
Joshua said,
You-
choose this day
Mm.
who you will serve.
Mm.
He said, well,
He's
for
been
me,
deliberate.
as
Yes.
for me and
Mm.
my house,
Mm.
if
We will
you
serve the
chose,
Lord.
if you confess, you profess Christ to be your Lord and personal Savior, He should be everywhere. Should be reflected even on your social media handle, in your businesses.
Mm.
That Jesus Christ should be seen.
Mhm.
Mm.
Let it be seen in how you do business, how you communicate with people, and ask yourself,
Mm.
the life I'm living, is it Christ-like?
Mm.
If I'm a Christian, and we say believers of old were called Christian because of the Christ-like attitude, the life you are living, the life that you're lying in that business post that you're doing, or those posts that you're, all those things you are doing, apple of God I don't weak,
Mm.
posting your
Mm.
like half nakedness and all of that, is Jesus pleased with that? Sometimes just before you just click on the post or share, ask yourself, will Jesus be honored?
Well, you know, sometimes I don't blame them, because when you say God, there's God with small g. So sometimes when you just say it, I know where to classify you, whether you are answering Solomon or Esther or whatever. It's not by name.
No.
It's not. But you see, the excuses you hear is that, you know, when I do this, people will not follow me because they will feel I too do when it comes to religion. You know, that's when you will hear they will be telling you, I beg, shut up. We know them, Paul Gindri and the rest. So what is that you are coming to tell us? In his own time, he made impact. This is my own time. So allow me to do my own, to impact my own generation, to create value for my own generation. And some are even afraid. You know, this person will unfriend me. This person will do this. But we always forget. That's why we are emphasizing the issue of the source. If you know your source, you know that Jesus Christ reminded us of all of these things. You know, he said you will be hated. You know, people will reject you. People will do all sorts manner of things, you know, simply because of what? He said, because of my name. So he has said it. Your source have said it. So why are you afraid?
That settles it.
That settles it. So why are you afraid? So just imagine, you know, how they were trying to choke Jesus then. Since when he was kid. See how he engaged the Pharisees when his mother came, you know, going around to look for him. And he said, I'm doing my father's business. You understand? Jesus, until the age of 30, his ministry was 3 years. We talked about capacity earlier. He was grooming himself. He was building himself. Not because he is new to everything that is happening, but because there is a principle of life that God said that you must follow. And that is just it. The coming of Jesus Christ is to tell us this is the principle of God on how to do things. And Jesus followed that principle. It's not that he went there, he was grooming, but he's trying to tell you, when I leave, you need to go back, build capacity for yourself, know me well, come out, and then impact. The issue of capacity that you talk, it is very key, it is very important. You talk about the issue of Paul, you know, the books he wrote, because he's intellectual. He has capacity. So what are we supposed to do? Know your source. Know why you are created. You yourself, you are a value. You can only choose to be positive or to be negative, because you are created in God's image. And that willpower gives you the power to choose wherever you want to go.
Yeah,
Whether
what you just said just reminded me of something that someone said not quite long ago. He said that we were talking about how people who study the Bible, or theologians, that's the word, we're talking about how theologians sometimes just have a very interesting way or interesting approach to things. It's like, oh, I know this book, I know it. So they just want you to hear them talk. And we were talking about it, and this person says, so who exactly do you think the theologian is? And our response was that every one of us is a theologian. And when he said every one of us is a theologian, he said even if you have not accepted that this is a God, this is the God, you want to know who that God is. So you keep on trying to understand the person. And at the end of the day, you're a theologian. But the problem now is, how good a theologian are you? Are you learning the right things or not? Are you learning who he is exactly or not? Because if you learn that, then what will come out of you will be more valuable than any other thing. So, see, I'm just saying now, we need to build ourselves. It's not just about what you would give the world. Most of the times your value is not about what you, or the value that you're giving out is not always about what you're giving out. It's about what is inside and what comes out from the inside. Because the truth is that when you're not doing something with your whole heart, it shows, it reflects. So if you're just doing it for doing sake, okay, no, so that the people in this community would just see that, okay, I belong to them, they would see, but they would not believe.
You present yourself half
About
baked.
building yourself.
Mm.
They said a mango tree cannot produce an orange. Banana tree will not bring out pineapple. So about building yourself, you have to walk in silence and let your success make the noise. When you are building yourself, nobody has to know what you're doing or whatsoever, so that when the results begin to come out, that value, that worth, all of the impact and everything you're doing, that is the success. It is the one making the noise. Let's see an example of nurses in the hospitals. I'm sure at one point or the other we've had reasons to visit the hospital, either for ourselves or friends or family or just to greet. You have seen nurses, you have related with them, you have seen good ones, you have seen terrible ones, you have seen wicked ones. Did they add value? Did they add value? Some of them treat you as if you are a beggar from the pit of hell. Some of them treat you as if you are an angel sent from heaven. They give you this treatment as if tomorrow they will die. You know, they are adding value. They didn't just learn this in one day. They built capacity. The ones that are good and the ones that are wicked, they all went through the same school. Both of them, they all learned under the same people. But what happened? One built capacity. One decided to add value, to make impact. And another one is just wicked for no reason. You didn't know each other. Just like that, the person is not being nice to you. And then adding value is a lifelong thing. Like, you can't say today I'm adding value, tomorrow I'm not. Next tomorrow I'm adding value, next week I'm not. It's a lifelong thing. If you're adding value, people know. If you're not adding value, people know. Just like the social media we talked about, some of the people that are adding value, we don't even know them. We have never met them. And who knows, you may never meet them. But the value that they are adding to your lives will remain there till the end of age. Why? Because it is a decision they made. They built capacity. They decided to add value. The vendor you talked about that sold something and you don't even have plans to go back to her, it's the value of the thing she gave to you. That's why when you're selling, give the best you can. Give it the best shot, because you don't need to go shouting, I am selling this, come and patronize me. No, that thing you're selling would speak for you in your absence. When someone sees it, no matter how much you sold it, if it's of good quality, if it has value, the people will come to you by themselves. They will pick your number and call you with their own airtime. Why? Because what you sold has given value. You didn't have to shout. You didn't have to stay under the sun or in the rain to announce to people what you're selling. Value is you have to be intentional about adding value. You don't know how far you will go. You don't know how near you will go. That social media is like your congregation. That is your own platform. That workplace is your own platform. Don't say, I don't have a church. I'm not a Sunday school teacher. I'm not a this. I'm not a... No. You, all of us have our own pulpit. It's for you to add value wherever you are. Even if you are in a cave, somebody is there with you. Add value.
It's not just about packaging. I've seen people spend a lot of money, people that are into business, on packaging their products. But the person that spends money to get it does not get the value for his money, and then your business continue to suffer. There are people that don't care about packaging and branding, yet people look for them. Look at the example of Gary. Where do you see the advertisement? Well, it's one of the most consumed. You get. So what is the value that people are getting? Like you rightly said, you don't have to be a a pastor to add value. You don't have to be a lecturer to add value. You don't have to be a teacher to add value. See, creating and adding value is about impact, leaving the world a better place.
Being
There are people that
intentional.
today they are no more, but when you remember them, you shed tears. Why? Because of the impact they left. If they added no value, then we will not be thinking about them. We will not be bitter that they are no more. Sometimes we celebrate some people knowing well that they have done their part, and that's why we say, oh, for them they are resting because they have played their part. Now you that you are alive, and like I said earlier on, that means God has not given up on you.
Yes.
And in line with Jeremiah 29:11 that says, I know the plans I have for you, it is for good and not evil. That means I should be living that good life that God has proposed or planned for me. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I found myself, it should be about value. Ask yourself, that office that you're occupying, are you adding value? Are you impacting? The people that are around you, are they feeling your impact? Or you came to that place and you're making the place worse than you met it? Because there are people that you get them employed, or they are given position, and those places just die. The organization or company goes extinct because the people there are not actually adding value. Today we have a lot of unemployed people on the street. And they keep saying, oh, there's no job. Nigeria as a country will tell you, oh, about 40% of people are unemployed. Why? Because the companies right now, we know how the private sector is really helping in terms of employment and all of that. Now, what are you willing? What are you going to give? Most companies or organizations are not willing to watch or see their companies die down. And if they want to employ you, they must be sure of what you're going to give. No wonder they say, you need to come for interview. Yes, we know you're a graduate of mass communication, of whatever field that you have graduated with. You have the certificate, BA, BSc, you have MSc, PhD and
You
all.
also need
We
experience.
know you have all those papers. But come, let's interact. What can you give? Oh, they didn't know you studied the mass communication, that they ask you what you can give. They want value.
They want value.
What can you give that will help this organization grow? In your social media, how well are you promoting your business? There are things that I learned today. I cannot even remember the names of the people that I read their posts that has impacted me. But the lesson I learned is still with me. That's because those people were deliberate about adding value. There are people that will not post if what they are posting will not add value to somebody out there.
Yes.
That is the life that we should live. That you're on social media, it should not be about the raining thing. But whenever I'm going online, it's your data, yes. But whenever I'm going online, what value am I going to be adding to somebody? Whatever I'm dropping, will it add value to somebody, or it will break that person down? Some people will tell you, I don't care. You make some posts that some people will start questioning their belief in God. You make posts that people say, oh, God forbid that I become Christian. If this person is actually a Christian, then I would not become Christian. Please, the life of a Christian, or our calling in life, is not mediocrity. That you believe in God and you're a powerful, prayerful Christian does not limit you from building skills, developing capacity. The life of Christ is an excellent one, and it should be seen and reflected in how we live our lives as well. So if you're a cleaner, clean well. If you're a gardener, garden well. If you're a security person, do it well. If you're a secretary, keep those files, documents well. Whatever you are, do it excellently. That is the life of the Christian. But we have restricted ourselves today, that people say, I'm this brother now. That's why you cannot do anything. They say, read this, you cannot do. They say, do this, you cannot, because you are a Christian. The call is not to mediocrity, but excellence.
And then in adding value,
Well, I
don't
think-
allow anyone to define what you should do. So far you know what you're doing, because the society, the family, our cultures and traditions, the world at large, they have a way of making you doubt what you know. So don't allow anyone to make you doubt. Don't allow anyone to make you inconsistent. Don't allow anyone to even devalue you. Add value, create value, add impact. Whatever it is you're doing, so far you know that God will be happy with you. He'll be proud of what you're doing. Go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Mm.
Briefly.
I was just going to say that we remember the story of Tabitha in the Bible. She died and a lot of people were crying. Okay, crying for what reason? Value. What was she doing? Nothing but helping someone. That's all. That was her value. She was helping with the work of her hands. And that's all we need to do in this life. You just need to do what God has set in your mind to do, not reluctantly or under compulsion. Because this Bible said, "Lord loves a cheerful giver." So as you're giving out with value, give it with cheer. Be happy as you're giving it out. Don't be doing it grudgingly. That's another thing. But
All
that's
right.
another topic for
That's
another day.
that's the much we can take on today's live. I hope someone picks something, from our discussion today, because I do, and then I'm so grateful that you're able to do this with me.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
for the viewer out there, we sincerely appreciate you for giving us your time, and then we did this together. We hope that you'll create time for us. We'll come with a new topic next week by God's grace. Thank you very much, and God bless you.